spell any erosions, but I've learned what I'm going to say. I am the Dinghy King. I grew up in the background of 1,000 holiday snaps. A tall boy with an enormous head and thin legs. One day, the camera stopped clicking and the Scousers stopped scousing. I vowed to my people that I would bring tourism back to the bay. There was a Jiminy Cricket type character whispering, "Don't do it," in my ear. I brushed him off my shoulder and broke his back with my heel. I first saw dinghies in the garden next door, with sand in the grooves. As I got older, I ventured down to the promenade. I saw dinghies hanging in clusters outside fancy goods shops, hot and brand new in the sun, inflated to pressures way beyond the lungs of a normal child. They lolled around in the breeze like bloated hides. People came to the bay with dinghies. People came to the bay and bought dinghies. No dinghies for me. At one end of the bay, a chalk minty Shangri-La of senility. A bony island, maybe. Pensioners, like drab crabs, sidestep each other. Drop-out opticians and drifter dentists bop by hanging dinghies as they pass. Around the corner, a puppet theatre called Harlequin. My brother went there once. I never got the chance. I found their picture on a microfiche spool in the library, opening the theatre sometime in the 50s or the 60s, with puppets dangling from each hand. They were wearing shit digital watches. The theatre isn't as busy today, and when, and if it does shut, I'm not sure who would redevelop a puppet theatre. What with the tiny dressing rooms and what have you. The curved grass embankments nearby with council workers. Municipal puppeteers themselves, in a way. Swinging lawnmowers on long ropes, like lethal pendulums, to crop the hard-to-reach slopes. To the east, a hotel in a Tudor style, not doing well these days. The owner's son's foot flattened by his father's rear wheel whilst dropping him off at a concert. His friends queuing outside the venue laugh at first, then scream when they catch sight of his pulverized foot bursting out of the ripped seams of his fancy shoes. I saw broken foot pumps. I saw soggy, forgotten socks. I saw men with their wetsuits rolled down to the waist, like overweight futuristic satyrs, barking orders at their kids in kid-sized wetsuits, in between cola burps. I saw a railway carriage converted into a venue that had jazz nights. The menus have pictures of saxophonists sitting on a crescent moon, leg dangling. I went there with an ex-girlfriend and watched a bloody bad band. On the way out, I saw a man with a dog poo under a bistrotech table with a tall beer mat stuck in it, like a horrible wafer. The dog who I took to be the culprit was by the door with his owner, who didn't seem bothered. I saw black and white folks photos of men dressed like French clowns, big men. I saw a punk band's name sprayed on the wall slowly disappear, year by coats of pigeon droppings and seagull droppings. Sand doesn't get carried into town on people's feet anymore. I see the barber shop where the old man couldn't pay for his crew cut. I can see the barber's armpits and the micro clods of deodorant hanging from the hairs. I can see the barber's zero sympathy face. I can see the off-duty squaddy detaching the speakers on his stereo to show me, shifting the hair cuttings out of the way with his tiny hands. I can smell food. I can see a pool box full of blood. The hotel where a naive French exchange student with oval spectacles took a beating. I see some lackluster mods and less luster rockers terrifying no one. They seem scared of the locals. Rainbow Bridge, where I jogged with an ex-military man, and he explained cramps and the stitch to me. He was coaching me for a mini marathon, and after a few outings he said, I think we might have a winner on our hands. We didn't have a winner on our hands. After the race, I went to show him my souvenir race t-shirt and mug. He seemed disinterested. A month later, I found a book of matches with a Playboy bunny insignia on them outside his house. My father said he must have got them when he was on manoeuvres. I went to the Netherlands. They also have dinghies on the banks of big rivers, with naturists speed gambling about. On a sand dune, 5 naked men flying a remote control aeroplane, buzzing the other naturists. Behind them, behind the dune, a fat mother, sunbathing naked with her children around her, playing a Game Boy or something.